Family, family, family. It's part 3 of Addicts Only. An alcoholic story. I took a couple days to put out part 3 because the individual that I was speaking about, the individual I've been involved with before in my past, he actually passed, so he wasn't able to complete the story. But I was able to. Gain a lot from him. And with that being said, I'd like for everybody to know, understand, overstand, whatever word you want to choose, to come to a grip or understanding of what I'm about to say is. Addiction is a sickness. Addiction is a disease. Alcoholism is a sickness. Alcoholism is a disease. In part 1 and part 2, I politic with how it go. How it is out in the streets. For those who fight an addiction. For those who don't have a job. For those who are sick and need help. We have a lot of individuals with mental disabilities, period, and addictions all at one time. And they are fighting and struggling to find out or to come up with a solution for help. I want to say this to all organizations and people who help or say they help. These are real stories out here. These are real people being sick. These are real people that has addictions and they don't know where to begin to get help with their addictions. I ask that all facilities or organizations that are putting their best foot forward, Extended Grace in Grand Haven, Michigan being one, to talk to an addict, talk to a disabled man or woman, a mentally ill man or woman. Talk to them like a person, not an object. It really bothered me not being able to complete part 3 of Addicts Only. But when I did the shows, I knew that part 3 was going to be letting you, the viewers, know that someone had failed their fight with addiction. Someone has failed their struggle with alcoholism. And the things that I hear on the streets is, don't nobody understand where I'm coming from. And some people are using that as an excuse because there are a lot of us out here that understand where we are coming from as addicts, where we are coming from as alcoholics. But we also understand where we are coming from being lazy. We understand where we are coming from not putting your best foot forward and us trying to make our days better than the day before. Meaning, as a person who's sick with an addiction, whether it be drugs or alcohol, odds are stacked against us very, very, very much so. With that being said, there's no room for saying you can't get up or we can't get up and go find a job. There's no room for saying that we can't get up and go find a program that's extending referrals to get help where we feel like we need help. In my earlier podcast, everyone's heard me say before, nobody's going to do anything for a people or a person that's not willing to do anything for themselves. That is so true. What I'm saying to all my fellow alcoholics, all my fellow addicts, is you sick. You are sick. Addiction is a sickness. Alcoholism is a sickness. And there are programs that are out here that will help you, that will refer you to real doctors, that will refer you to people who care about your mental illness, your disability, or your addiction. The big brother DJ Folk is going to keep doing the best that I can to make sure I keep us all on the same page, because there's a big gap. There's a gap between wanting to, there's a gap between trying, there's a gap between doing, and there's a gap between I don't know where the hell I'm going. There's a gap. What I mean is everybody don't have the same lingo, everybody don't have the same conversations, and everybody does not look the same. But because we don't look like you, because we don't sound like you, and because we don't come from where you come from, does not mean that we do not deserve assistance and help with our addictions, whether it be drugs or alcohol. Because I refuse, which unfortunately I probably will, but I dread losing someone else to their addiction. I dread losing someone else to their alcoholism. I'm ready for success stories. Just remember this. If you got a bottle right now, or you getting ready for that fix, remember this. After we're done, whatever we running from is still there. And that drug or that alcohol is going to call us to do more and more and more and more to escape reality. More and more and more. And then the bigger picture of it, we cannot escape what we are. We have to face what we are. We have to accept what we are. And then and only then can we begin to try to fix what we are. Self-accountability. One day at a time. I don't have much, but I'm trying. So if anybody's out there on a cold night, anybody's out there on a hungry night that is struggling with their addiction and alcoholism, call in and I'm going to tell it. I got time. I have time. I know what it feels like. I know what it looks like. I know what it smells like. Addiction is a sickness, whether drugs or alcohol. Alcoholism is a sickness. If we are at that point to where we are acknowledging that we are sick and we need help, there are people who can help. There are people that will refer you to good doctors and good people who want to help the addict. The addict with no money, the addict with no place to stay, the addict. There is help. I want y'all to reach out to me, and I'm going to tell it. My phone number is 231-828-1146. Leave a text so I know what I'm dealing with. Because sometimes I don't answer my phone with strange numbers. So leave me a text that I told you to call, and we going to see what we can do about it. Each one teach one. We got to reach back. How many people we know are addicted to drugs and alcohol? How many people do we know? How many people do we talk about because they're addicted to drugs and alcohol? How many people do we know? I just recently met some great people who has a facility where you can go in and take a shower. You can get yourself together. You can sit down amongst other people who are going through distressful times like yourself. 2019, we not falling for nothing. 2019 is the year to where the world reaches back for the ones that's sick. The addict. The person with the disability. The person with the mental illness. Addicts Only. My Addicts Only series is for just that. Addicts Only. It takes an addict to know an addict. It takes an alcoholic to know an alcoholic. Addicts Only. Again, I've had friends that wasn't fortunate enough to make it to see me try to reach back and help our people. And when I say our people, I'm talking about black, brown, red, white. Nationality, race, or creed makes no difference here at I'm Gonna Tell It. Not at all. Addicts Only. Addiction is a sickness, whether it's alcohol or drugs. There is help. There are people who out there who wants to help. If you are finding problems with finding people who are wanting to help, contact me at I'm Gonna Tell It. 231-828-1146. And I'll do the very best that I can to put you in a position to help yourself with good people. That has a referral system, that has seminar systems, that has a system that's trying to help. But it takes all of us to care about the sickness that we have within our communities. That's addiction, mental illness, and disabilities that we are ignoring. I don't know if the weather's going to permit, but if you stay tuned on my page, I got an event. I don't have an event, but I have knowledge of an event that can help out a lot of us. So stay tuned. Again, my series on Addicts Only will continue, but it's for just that. Excuse me. I got a little cold. I don't want to lose anybody else to addiction. I don't want to lose anyone else to addiction. So if you are struggling with addiction this morning, if you are struggling with addiction last night and tomorrow, you can beat it, and you got help. You got help. You got to want to. We have to want to. 2019 is a new year, and it's new people that care. So put your best foot forward. Make that phone call or take them steps. This is your big brother, DJ Focus, coming to you live from my podcast radio show. I'm Gonna Tell It. Addicts Only. Be peaceful.